Goodbye, horses. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the GameStop exclusive Star Wars The Black Series Supreme Leader Snoke Throne Room. Now, I think this is kind of nifty. I think this is the way they should have done the Emperor back whenever he was released. It's okay getting a single figure, but getting a throne with it, especially for a dude that's known for sitting on a throne, yeah, that would have been kind of cool. But there's third party for that. I'll take a look at one of those here in the upcoming weeks. For now, I'm going to look at this. Now, taking a look at the package, your standard Black Series packaging. Yes, there's changes to make room for this big-ass display right here. Now, the back isn't red. It's some kind of picture, some kind of diorama-looking background. It's a Star Destroyer, a Super Star Destroyer, or whatever the next big planet-killing thing will be in the Star Wars universe. And then you see everything you're getting with the package. There's even an extra throne floor piece up there that I don't know what it is until I get it open. On the side, Supreme Leader Snoke, the usual stuff, no number. It'd be cool if they started a series of diorama pieces like this because, you know, they have the Kylo Ren at Walmart, they have this at GameStop, they have the Luke somewhere else, the Rey somewhere else. Because I'd gladly take a C-3PO on his Ewok carrying throne or, you know, stuff like that. On the back, I was going to say pretty, but not so pretty picture of Snoke. There's the bio up here. It is present tense. I looked at the Praetorian Guard, and it was in the past tense. I thought that was weird. I didn't know if it was like, but they're not all like that, apparently. Down here is the warnings. The unreadables probably says something like this is not a Marvel Legends future Charles Xavier. On the side, it's that look with the, you know, blown up letters. It just says Snow. On the top, clear window looking down on Snoke. On the bottom, legalese barcode. So I'm going to get this open and see. I don't expect the most exciting of figures, but still, it's cool to have a centerpiece for the bad guys from the new movies. And there we go, all out of the package, and I like it. It's cool, but man, it's got a creepy vibe to it. And I'm not just talking about evil Sith Lord, Dark Lord, whatever this guy is. I'm talking like I wouldn't want my daughter anywhere around this guy. Looking at the figure itself, the rogues do a pretty good job of covering most of the body, really. It's soft goods, it's cloth, but it's threaded in with some kind of gold thread. It makes it shiny, it makes it sparkly. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if he actually sparkles in the movie or not, or if his robe does. But it being Star Wars, I almost feel like it should be just a plain mustard yellow color to it, kind of ugly. But the feet are sculpted nicely, as well as the hands. And what little skin you can see through is painted really, really great. Like I'm going to probably say a couple of times in this review, it's kind of nasty. And then the belt piece. It almost feels like this is compensating? I don't know. What you got under there, Snoke? Actually, we'll look at that here in a minute. Get up to the head, and the nastiness continues. The sculpt here, again, I don't dive into spoilers a lot, so I don't know exactly what he looks like. I can only go by, well, the new trailer, which looks pretty much like this, and then the artwork, and then the hologram from the first movie. But given my mental image of Snoke, this looks pretty damn close to it. And then bringing the paint into that, there's some beige, some brown down in the deep crevices, coming up to a pinkish, more flesh-top color. And looking at that for a second, you can see that the eyes are painted fairly well for what they are. He's got the eye sliding up and away, but in this case, it works for the character. It's what he looks like. I just wish they had painted the eyes looking forward. In the artwork and trailer, he looks very menacing, looking, you know, straight forward. Here, he's looking up and to the left. At least they're looking in the same direction. I'm good with that. But in order to look forward and menacingly, you have to kind of tilt his head kind of a lot to get it right there. But I will admit, the head, at least the paints overall, could have been a disaster. It could have been way worse than this. So, not bad. And that sculpt and kind of paint continues on down to the chest, just looking like, well, kind of Groot. Or the guy from that Silence of the Lambs where the pigs ate his face, or he had the pigs or something. It's been a long time since I've seen it. The hands have pointy fingernails, especially the thumb right here. It's looking very Sith Lord-like, very Darksider. And on this side, he's wearing a ring, and from what I've heard, that's a kyber crystal, or a dark kyber crystal, or I don't know. I try to avoid some spoilers. I like to go into the movie almost fresh. You know, spoilers are unavoidable 100%, but I try to go in knowing as least amount as possible, which is my MO for life in general. Just jump in there and hope for the best. Now, this belt is removable. It's just a peg on the front. You can open it up and you're revealed Snoke's pajamas. Really, I think that's my biggest problem with it, I guess. It doesn't seem menacing. It's like you caught him coming out of the bathroom and he suddenly, oh, whoa, sorry. And you're like, sorry, I didn't mean to. And you have to get out. The pants stopping right here and just showing leg all the way down to his little booties. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, but it doesn't scream Sith Lord. I don't know. It just screams Aladdin. If he had, if Jasmine had died in the later years and he grows up to be kind of an evil, crusty old man running the kingdom, That's why probably I'll never take the belt off and leave the robe closed at all times. But I'll leave it off for articulation. There's a dumbbell joint. The ball goes up into the head and then down into the neck. You can look down. You can look up. You can get a lot of tilt. Swivel. Hinges swivel at the shoulder, kind of tight, but it does come up. Then it swivels around. As far as I can tell, look, the sleeve goes up. There is a double elbow because it's hidden by the soft goods. Comes all the way up. Hinges swivel at the wrist, then swivels. There is a ball joint in the torso, but it doesn't do a lot except for swivel. You can't really get forward. You get a little bit back, a little bit side, a little bit side. I wish it hunched over, and that comes into play when we get to the throne. There's a ball joint coming out into the hip, goes forward, goes back. That's about all the out right there. There's a swivel at the thigh. Double knee comes all the way up. Hinge at the ankle, back, forward. Great range right there, mostly because there's nothing there. And then forward-facing pin for rocker. For accessories, Snoke comes with his throne. That's the whole point of this exclusive, is the throne. I think Snoke comes single-carded later, but I kind of like the throne. It's very Kirby-ish, if I can mix universes there for a minute. After getting the Thor series a few weeks back, it feels like this would fit right into that. I ain't got no problem with that at all. The angles are nice, the sculpt overall is nice and sharp, and we're even treated to a few paint apps here and there. The orange, the reds, the blues, the darker grays on top of kind of a swirly-twirly gray plastic. Even the back has some nice design. I mean, they didn't have to do this. This could have been just flat to push against a wall or put somewhere else, but there's some piping and some, just indents. It's not flat. Then on the front, you have kind of the beaded seat cushion right there. My problem with it, I think, and I don't know if it's because of the package or if it's like this in the movie, but it's awful shallow. It's almost like a jump seat in the back of a truck, or I feel like this would be like sitting in a coach seat on an airplane where you couldn't recline the seat back for 24 hours. His ass does go down in the seat, but you can see that his knees stick out really far. It's like he's sitting on a little kiddie stool. And maybe it's like that. Maybe, in order to wield the dark side, you have to be uncomfortable all the time. And that perfectly explains that throne. But I like it. It is nice. It's smooth. It's shiny. It feels like a Star Wars item. For comparison, here's Snoke next to the Praetorian Guard that I just reviewed earlier in the week. I didn't expect Snoke to be this big. When we saw the hologram, we thought, holy shit, that guy's huge. He's not as huge as the hologram led on to be, but this is a pretty big figure. And then here he is next to the Last Jedi Kylo Ren. I haven't reviewed this. I received it with my Wave 2 case from The Last Jedi. I just tore it open to put it next to Snoke here and put him in some pictures. I do like it, but again, I'm going to have to see the movie before I could fall in love with the design. So at the end of the day, the figure was meant to be dynamic, but it's hard to put him in dynamic poses. He doesn't feel like the weapon-wielding type of guy. He almost doesn't feel like force-lightning type of guy. He's just sitting there. He's just barking orders. He's just telling Kylo where to go, the Praetorian Guards to defend him. But there's that air of he could handle himself if it comes down to it. But given that we got the throne with this, that's how I feel like I should display him all the time. The bad part of that is that's going to eat up a lot of real estate on the shelf. It's not a deep piece, like I was talking about. The seat doesn't look comfortable at all, but it's a wide piece, and then it's also tall. But it's so nice. I'll have to make space for this somewhere. I just have to. I'm going to have to build some deeper shelves, or I'm going to have to lose some other toy lines and just make the toy room all Star Wars. So it's a quality piece. I feel like I don't really need the single carded now. This fulfills all my needs as far as, Snoke and sitting on a throne goes. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.